Alright guys, so there is basically two types of people out there in the world, okay? You have the type of people that when the stock market closes on Friday, they relax, they enjoy their 2 days off, and they completely put it out of their head and take some downtime, relax, go throw frisbee, whatever. And then there's people like me. So as soon as the stock market goes down on Friday, I am still researching, I'm still doing homework, and my attention shifts over to the cryptocurrencies, okay? So this is something, like I said, I don't always trade on the weekends, but I am always tracking the price of cryptocurrency. And sometimes I trade, and I have the ability to trade on the weekend. Now, we're not getting very much volatility, and we're not getting a lot of movement. Of course, I trade mostly Litecoin and Ethereum, okay? So I trade Litecoin the most. I like to buy it on any big dip. And guys, I will kind of go through with you some of the methods I use to trade cryptocurrencies, okay? So I use Coinbase, guys, and I also, but I do all of my trading on Coinbase Pro, or it's formerly known as GDAX, but now it's known as Coinbase Pro. And so what I do is I set alerts in my phone and on the Coinbase app, okay? So when Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin reach certain points, I get a little alert on my phone, and then my attention is really focused in on the cryptocurrency. So, like for example, when Litecoin touched $50 per share, this was just a couple of weeks ago, I got an alert on my phone and I started tracking the pricing. And I remember I made a trade here with Litecoin on Coinbase Pro. So I bought around $49 and I sold around $53. I just had like a 7 or 8% return. And I made a trade and sold. Now since then, I think that was like November 4th or 5th, can't remember exactly what day it was, but since then we haven't got a lot of volatility, okay? It's just kind of maintaining its pricing and just kind of consolidating, but not a lot of volatility. So I like to trade, like I said, Litecoin and Ethereum mostly, sometimes Bitcoin if the pricing is right, but I do like to trade the coins when we get a big pullback in price, okay? And so ironically enough, the traditional markets, they all crashed back here around the 11th and 12th of October, so roughly a month ago now. But cryptocurrency just kind of held its levels, didn't really react very much. Then as the traditional market started to recover, that's when crypto crashed out. And this isn't a big crash, but they fell off, 6-7% pretty much overnight. And so that's when I started tracking the price. When I started seeing it recover to about $49 a share, or $49 a coin, I bought $1,000 worth. And like I said, I sold out with about a 6 to 7% return. So I am really into cryptocurrency. Like I said, it's one thing you can do, and it's pricing you can track on the weekends. So I guess I will just briefly mention this though, guys. So this is the referral program. I will have a link down in my description box and my comment section. But if you sign up for a Coinbase account, and let's see, if you buy or sell at least $100 of digital currency, you will receive 10 free dollars of Bitcoin. I've already taken advantage of this like 2 years ago, right when they first started the free Bitcoin program. But I got a referral the other day, I think it was Tuesday last week. And I don't know if the only place I have a link is here on my YouTube channel. So I don't know who used that. But hey, if you're watching this and you sign up for a Coinbase account, drop a comment and tell me what you're looking at and how you're doing. Now guys, there is something I feel is very, very important to stress, or at least for me to communicate with all of my investors and all of my subscribers going into this upcoming week. Guys, please do not be short on any of the big marijuana companies. So that's Canopy Growth, TLRY, Aurora, Cronos, and Afria. Okay, I do not want you holding any short positions in any of these stocks this week. Okay, pretty much all of these companies are going to be reporting earnings this week, and so let's just kind of take a look at some of the earnings whispers, so we can kind of know somewhat about projected sales and perhaps what kind of earnings reports we could be stepping into this week. And then I will also explain why you should not be short on any of these stocks this week. So first off, let's just say this right here. I'm just going to say it like it is. Canopy Growth, TLRY, Aurora, Afria, and Cronos are all very, very fundamentally overvalued companies. Okay, it just is what it is. The stock price, like I said, it keeps rising because of the industry that they're in. And like I said, all the pro-marijuana things that are happening worldwide. Even like Jeff Sessions, him getting booted out the other day, that is viewed as very, very positive for the marijuana industry. Like I said, as well as the legalization in Canada. That happened last month. And, all the things that are kind of moving into place to really boost the marijuana industries. That's why these stocks are running. And also the massive quarterly revenue growth. Okay, so these stocks are very fundamentally overvalued, but the massive quarterly revenue growth, and like I said, it's just they need to come to earnings and prove that sales are way up, and that they cannot meet demand, and that they're busting their butts, trying to satisfy as many customers as they can and expand in their production and blah, 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 blah. But really, all it really comes down to is their revenue, okay? So right here, guys, Canopy is set to report earnings on November 14th. That is on Wednesday. And so we will definitely be keeping a very close eye on this channel, on all these earnings reports, guys. And so let's just read this. They have a current third quarter sales projection for CA $75.3 million. Okay, so let's just stop right there. Even if they have, sales projection for $75.3 million, guys, Canopy Growth is still going to be very fundamentally overvalued. However, this is their projected, okay? This is what their projected sales projections are supposed to look like. So if they come to the table and say we had $88 million of sales projections, or we had $90 million, if they beat, estimates and they beat expectations, that could send the MJ stocks up fast, okay? And we all know and have to respect the power of Canopy Growth. Same thing with TLRY, okay? So right here, TLRY reports on November 13th. That is Tuesday. And guys, the same concept and the same story. Most investors are only looking for modest and further gains. So they're looking for $10.25 million in sales in the third quarter. Okay, that's what expectations are for TLRY. But TLRY is a creature of its own. I think everybody knows about their massive volatility, their massive price movement. TLRY could, you can walk out of the room and TLRY is $100 and come back and it's $120, and by the time the market closes, it's back at $90. TLRY is all over the place, and it is a hard animal to tame. So, my thing here, if TLRY comes to the table and says, hey, we got 15 or 20 or 30 or 40, $50 million of sales, they can show that massive quarterly revenue growth. Coming here in the third quarter, TLRY could run to $200 in a heartbeat. And conversely, if they disappoint and they have very disappointing sales numbers, the stock could drop very, very fast. So that would be a good time to short. Okay, if the stock dropped really, really fast, you could probably short within that. I just don't want you to be shorting any of these companies going into earnings this week in case they outperform any of these projected sales numbers. Okay, like I said, we cannot look at these companies fundamentally. It's completely pointless right now. But someday, you know, Canopy, TLRY, Aurora, and Kronos Group, all these companies, guys, you know, one of these companies will be the Apple or the Microsoft or the Goldman Sachs, you know, of the marijuana industry. And they might all, you know, eventually turn into great, you know, and very well-run companies fundamentally. But for now, you know, the only thing we can really look at is company expansion, you know, quarterly revenue growth, and, you know, sales figures. So just a quick recap. Canopy is reporting on November 14th. That's Wednesday. TLRY is reporting on November 13th. That's Tuesday. Aurora is reporting on November 14th. That's Wednesday. And Kronos is reporting on November 13th. Okay, so we have Kronos and TLRY on Tuesday, and we have Aurora and Canopy reporting on Wednesday. So I will be very plugged into that, guys. Very exciting week. But like I said, if you are long any of these positions and the stock gets hit really hard and you want to commit to the position, you want to stay long with the company, you know, you're a believer, you know, you might have a big opportunity to add if the stocks get hit really hard. If the stock runs up really hard, like I said, on a great earnings report, then you might have an opportunity to sell. Okay, but just be careful this week. You know, I don't have a problem if you're on the long side, but if you're on the short side, please cover your position and get out. Do not take a big risk like that. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for tonight. Thanks for watching the video.